Well, today I'm going to be showing you what a paid account looks like inside the game, and to be exact, $759 I've spent on this game, and I've been playing between 3 and 4 weeks. Now, I've said it before, and I just want to clarify again, I don't think you should actually spend money on this game. I think this game is perfectly fine, free to play, and it's a lot more fun that way. If you do spend it thinking you're going to get ahead or catch up to somebody else, there's always a bigger spender out there. I myself use some of the money that I make from the videos and then reinvest it in these games so I can show you guys. So one of the first things you'll see is we are at 158 million power, and we are equipped with a whole bunch of S gear. I still don't have any mythics inside this game. Even my non-S grade gear, I wouldn't actually be able to take my weapon to a mythic state on it. I'm still a little bit short, but you can see I'm doing pretty well for where I'm at. And you can see I have a whole bunch of other S grades too, 19 of them in total. Obviously, the ones that are equipped that are at the legendary status, I had to fuse a couple of S grades together, so I was able to get more. But this is what we're sitting on for around that $759. I also am sitting on 64,000 gems right now. I was going to go and use those on S grade keys, which is a lot of what I tried to go for, but given that we're getting a new chest in the update next week, I figured I'm gonna hold off just to see if it's anything good, and then I'll spend the gems over there. So as far as on my pet screen, I am at tier 11, meaning that I have a 0.05% of pulling a mythic pet. I did find 2 elses since I've gotten to this point, and that's about the best I have for a pet inside the game. I am just barely into build level 5, which means that we now get some mythic stats inside there, which you can see are the S grade ones that are inside that. And for the pets themselves, I really don't have anything too crazy. Yeah, we have the elephant at 25, but everything else is kind of like 10s and 15s. I do, however, have a whole bunch of collectibles. I almost have them all. We're only missing one of them. And this is a lot because when you finally go and beat a 5th chapter, so like chapter 35, chapter 40, you're hit with this 1-hour deal, which is get 120 of those legendary keys that you can pull the S grades from, 12,000 gems, 1,200 pet eggs, and then you get 40 gem chest. Still, with having just about all of them unlocked, we're still not sitting at 3 stars for any of them. And I do want to say, the money that I spent in the game did have some planning behind it. I wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to throw $750 on gems inside the game. It was really trying to pick out the best deals. And then obviously as events came along, like, you know, the build growth, the pet one, I did want to make sure that I would go and maximize the rewards I could get out of those and still be able to have some fun inside the game. Not to mention, I am playing this game a lot too, so spending $750 right off the bat might not even get you half as far as this. As far as the mounts, I am on tier 6 here, and we do have one advanced mount. And that was me getting lucky. I pulled it on the 117th draw on it. I did kind of get a little careless on that because I only had like 387 coins. So if I didn't hit it, I was going to spend money. But I really lucked out on that one, so that I'm happy about. However, though, when it comes to the artifacts, I am only on tier 3, and we don't have an advanced artifact. I do happen to have 504 Cappy coins that I am sitting on right now, so I am ready for whatever the next machine is, whether it is a mount, a pet, or if it is an advanced artifact there, I am going to go for whatever it is and try to get the best out of it. And besides spending gems on those S grade chests, there is a couple of things that I tend to use gems for. First one being extra turns on the dungeon dive. I do 2 of those every single day just to make sure I'm getting more of those lucky silver coins for the Cappy machine. And then the other one I do is I buy energy inside the game for pretty much the travels. Energy are a huge thing to go and help you get a quick gain on the talents. And that was another thing that I really want to unlock to see what this whole inheritance and these book things were about. And I did spend about $100 mainly focusing on getting more energy. One of them was a chapter pack, which gave 2,000 energy. There was other good stuff inside it too, like 120 S grade keys and some gems and stuff. But the main goal there was getting that 2,000 energy. I did buy the energy pack a couple of times inside the pack shop just to kind of help out a little bit as I got closer to this whole talent thing here and the inheritance. Really wanted to know what the books were about and share a video on that. Another time that I purchased stuff towards energy was when we had the Halloween event. We had to go and do travel a whole bunch of time. That's where I went up here and purchased one of these events up top, like this Ludwig one right here. This is the second time I've purchased one of these, and it was just mainly to get energy to see what it was all about. And when those events popped up, we also had a little side thing there where you get something for free, you spend $1, you get 2 more things for free, you spend another $3. I bought a couple of those too, just to once again get energy to try to push a little further. One of the very first things that I purchased inside the game was going to be all the privilege cards inside the game. And I'm still a big believer, if there's any money you're going to spend it all on it, the ad-free is so much better. It's so annoying watching those ads, and this really is a good deal, at least if you're going to go and spend money on the game. The monthly card and lifetime card are kind of good. The 3x speed, really don't notice a big difference on it, to be honest with you, but it is a nice perk to have, I guess, but it really doesn't make a huge difference going from ×2 to ×3. The auto mine, on the other hand, is something that I'd say probably don't get it unless you really want those extra pickaxes. I mean, it is nice to get those spirit stones out of it, but really, if there's one thing that I was going to avoid out of all 4 of these, it would probably be that one right there. And then I went through and purchased all the ones for the funds inside the game. As you can see right now, there's only 2 of them that are here, and I still have the battle pass inactive. I'm waiting for one of those things to pop up, like the Cappy machine, to go and have the events of, you need to do 10 of the raids. That way I can get it then, and then grab a whole bunch of them. Or I might even wait for the chest growth one, which I can also get a bunch of them out of the battle pass. The Dungeon Fund was one that I actually just purchased today because I wanted to make sure I could get a couple more horseshoes out of it. I didn't complete the event all the way through. We're 4 for 4. I'm not going to go and try to get any more money on this. I don't feel like the packs are a good deal on it that we can get out of here, but I do feel like getting the funds are a lot better of a deal. The other 2 funds, one for the keys and one for the gems, I've already completed them both, and after you complete them the first time, a second one pops up and you get to do it all over again. But it's from whatever tier that you're at and moving towards the end. And once again, those are both things that I completed, and I do still believe that those are good deals inside the game. So like I said, I've got 504 of these actual silver coins saved up. We have 3,322 pet eggs saved up. And then we also have a whole bunch of chests saved up here too. So we are kind of set for when events popped up. Like I said, I'm kind of planning things out. I'm not just going and blowing it all away. There's some actual thought process behind this. But as you can see here, the other thing that I had too is I do have some silver and gold tickets for going and cashing in during these events to get the actual mounts from out of that. If you saw the video from yesterday, you know that we've already completed the talents inside the game. We've completed the tower. We have this whole bone lit there. We're working on upgrading him. And then as far as other things like the events and stuff, as far as the arena, I'm usually ranking in the top 15. Dungeon Dive, you can see here, I'm number 2. Spoozy here has always been owning this server on it, but everything else, I'm pretty much sitting in 2nd place. And you can see here, this is where we sit when it comes to doing the raids. So I am on chapter 64 right now is the other thing, and I'm honestly stuck right there right now. I've given it a couple of tries, maybe like 6 or 7, and I really need to go and wait to just upgrade further inside the game. So it's not like one of those things where you spend $750 and you automatically blast all the way through, make it up to first. It can put you in a pretty good spot, but there's a big problem when you first start spending money in this game. Yeah, you might start spending with $10 or so, and then maybe 20. And if you're keeping track of it like I am, when you get up to this $750 mark, $50 doesn't really look like a lot of money. You're like, oh, I've already spent this much, $50 more, why not? And this is where these games can really get you. So I recommend if you do spend in these games, at least keep track and maybe just kind of keep tabs of where you are every single week or so, or a single month, just so you kind of know, hey, I've spent this much in this game already. Is this really a good idea? Because when it comes down to it, 750 bucks, I could have probably gotten a pretty big TV with all that money. But like I said, I really just wanted to share a lot of this stuff with you guys. So that's where I'm sitting inside the game with spending all this money. I imagine I'll probably be spending a little bit more, hopefully not so much, but we'll have to wait and see. But if you guys don't know what the books do or want to actually see that video on it, take a look at this one right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.